Hello students, I am Nidhi Markade. Today we are going to start our new chapter in chemistry, chapter number 3, metals and non-metals. Students, in class ninth, we have learned about various elements. Even we have seen that elements can be classified as metals or non-metals on the basis of their properties. So, similarly, in this chapter, we'll discuss all the properties of metals and non-metals, like physical properties of non-metals and metals, including that chemical properties, their uses in day-to-day life, and many more activities. So, let us discuss one by one. So, first of all, we start with physical properties of metals and non-metals. The easiest way to start grouping substances is by comparing their physical properties. So let us study this with the help of following activities. We'll discuss all the activities one by one. For performing activities 3.1 to 3.6, collect some samples of following metals like iron, copper, aluminium, magnesium, sodium, lead, zinc, and any other metal that is easily available. First, physical properties of metals. Activity 3.1. Take samples of iron, copper, aluminium, and magnesium. Note the appearance of each sample as they are looking quite dull. Clean the surface of each sample by rubbing them with a sandpaper and note their appearance again. So, on rubbing it with a sandpaper, it shows the shining surface. This property of metals is known as luster. It is only possible in case of metals, not in non-metals. Therefore, we can say metals in their pure state having a shining surface, and this property of metals is known as metallic luster in case of metals only. Next property we have to discuss hardness. So, to understand this hardness, let us have an activity 3.2. Take small pieces of iron, copper, aluminium, and magnesium. If available, try to cut these metals with a sharp knife and note your observations. Now, hold a piece of sodium metal with a pair of tongs. Always handle sodium metal with care. Dry it by pressing between the folds of the filter paper. Now put it on a watch glass and try to cut it with a knife. And note your observation. Among small pieces of iron, copper, aluminium, magnesium, and sodium, we can cut only sodium and magnesium metal with knife. Rest of all other metals are very hard. So we can say metals are very hard substance. Hardness varies from metal to metal that we will discuss later on. Next activity 3.3. Take pieces of iron, zinc, lead and copper. Place any one metal on block of iron and strike it 4 to 5 times with a hammer and record your observation. Now repeat this experiment for other metals also and record the change in the shape of these metals. So on hammering these metals, actually metals change their shape. They are bitten into thin sheets and these property of metals is known as malleability. Malleability is only possible in case of metals, not in case of non-metals. Next property, ductility. To understand this, let us have an activity 3.4. List the metals whose wires you have seen in daily life. So, list the metals. The metals are like iron, copper, aluminium, lead, etc. We have seen wires of such metals. So, the ability of metals to be drawn into thin wires, this property is known as ductility, only possible in case of metals. Gold is the most ductile metal, and you will be surprised to know that a wire of about 2 kilometer length can be drawn from 1 gram of gold. It is because of their malleability and ductility that metals can be given different shapes according to our needs. Can you name some metals that are used for making cooking vessels? Do you know why these metals are used for making vessels? So let us discuss activity 3.5 to understand this thing. Take an aluminium or copper wire. Clamp this wire on a stand as shown in the figure. Now fix a pin to the free end of the wire using wax. Heat the wire with a spirit lamp, candle or a burner near the place where it is clamped as shown in the figure. Then record your observation. Does the metal wire melt? Actually, heat the wire with a burner at the end and after some time the pin drops by heating. This shows that the metals conduct heat. While these activity we have discussed in small classes already, but it shows that metals are good conductors of heat and have melting points very high, or we can say they have high melting points. The best conductor of heat are silver and copper. Lead and mercury are comparatively poor conductors of heat. Do metals also conduct electricity? To understand this, let us have an activity 3.6. Set up an electric circuit as shown in the figure and place the metal to be tested in the circuit between A and B. Again shown in the figure. Does the bulb glow? And what does this indicate? Record your observation. So, on placing any metal between the terminals A and B, actually bulb glows. And it shows that the metal is a good conductor of electricity, just like heat. And you must have seen that the wires that carry current in your homes have a coating of PVC or rubber like material. Why are these electric wires coated with such substances? As because metals conduct electricity. To save electricity, coating is to be done on wires for safety purpose. That current should not spread outside, and when we touch the wires, it should be current free or shock free. So that's why we coat the wires with the help of rubber or any PVC material. Now, one more thing is that what happens when metals strike a hard substance? Do they produce a sound? Yes, the metals that produce a sound on striking a hard substance are said to be sonorous. This is also another important property of metals. So, students, I hope you understood the initial part of this chapter. It means the physical properties of metals. So in next video we will discuss about physical properties of non-metals. Thank you for listening.